also very, very important. There's a very nice verse in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, and there it is said, Sadhu Sangha Sarva Shastra Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha Sarva Siddhi. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. The verdict of all revealed scriptures is that by even a moment's association with a pure devotee, one can attain all success. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. According to astronomical calculations, lava is 1/11th of 1 second. Imagine. Just like that, devotee association, Sarva Siddhi way, we can completely liberate ourselves. Thanks to Srila Prabhupada, we have the association. All of us here sitting together, hearing nice kirtan. Of course, after this talk will be a nice drama. And then Prashadam. Yes. So, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, we have many examples of pure devotees who liberated themselves just by association. First of all, Narayana, a pure devotee, Shaktadesha, of the Supreme Lord Krishna. His association was so powerful that Prahlad Maharaj, even before being born, even before he was born, he was already liberated. How? By hearing from Narad Muni. That is also association. It's not just, physical association. Hearing. That is also very important. So Prahlad Maharaj, even though he was born in a demon family, he should have turned out to be a demon, right? But no, he had the association of a pure devotee Narad Muni. You must have heard about Dhruva Maharaj, only 5 years old. Any 5 years old here? 5 years? You're almost 6. Or, yes, only 5 years old. And what did he want to do? He didn't want to play video games. He did not want to go shopping in Apple store. All he wanted was a kingdom greater than Lord Brahma. 5-year-old. Very high goal. But because he associated with Narad Muni, he was able to see Krishna. He was able, even at the age of 5 years. You've heard about Mrigaradi the hunter. He was leading such a simple life. But just with little bit of association of pure devotee like Narad Muni, he was able to change his ways of life and lead a sinless life. And he also became pure. So devotee association is very, very important. What happens when there is no devotee association? Who remembers from Srimad Bhagavatam? Bharat Maharaj. Maharaj, King Bharat had everything, all the opulences. But he gave up everything and he went to the forest because he wanted to become self-realized. But there he got attracted to a horse. Deer. Yes, he got attracted to a deer. And he got so attached to the deer that at the moment of death, all he could think of was, where's my deer, where's my deer, where's my deer? And the next life he got was of a deer. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Yam Yam Vapi Smaranava Jajatanti. Whatever we think at the time of death, that state we will attain without faith. So how does devotee association help us? Imagine when we are driving on a highway and a cop is sitting next to us. Will we speed? Will we cross the red light? How many of us cross red lights? It's just about to come. Let me shh. But if the cop is sitting next to us, will we do that? Similarly, when the devotee is with us, when we have the association of a devotee, we do not dare, we do not want to break any rules and regulations. So devotee association is very, very important. The best association that we can get is Srila Prabhupada. How? From his books. He's not personally present, but when we read his books, scrutinizingly, we are associating with Srila Prabhupada. He's a Jagat Guru. Now, why are we talking so much about devotee association? It's because when we associate with devotees, especially advanced devotees, then we start learning to build relationships. How many of us are happy in our relationships? You don't have to answer because you have to go home too, right? You cannot be honest. So we build relationships with devotee association, but then there are different kinds of association. Now to build those relationships, we need to interact properly. Do you all agree? I expect everyone to respect me. Then what should I do in return? Respect others. But it should be the other way around. I should respect others and not expect them to respect me. That is the attitude. So there has to be proper behavior, good interaction, following Vaishnava etiquette. Because only then we'll be able to build strong relationships. What if I start shouting and, like my sister is sitting, I just scream at her all the time and I find her faults, you have to boom, boom, boom. Is she going to build a relationship with me? She'll run far, far away. She'll see my caller ID, Gita, not this one. Right? So to build those relationships, there has to be proper etiquette, proper interaction, proper consciousness. Now to be able to do that, we need to have some knowledge about what kind of association. So there are two kinds. There is level 1, level 2, and then there's the topmost level. Now the topmost level of association is with someone who is very, very advanced, who is following the rules and regulations very strictly, and who is an expert in preaching, who is able to give Krishna consciousness to others. We should look for such association, because when we associate with such devotees, their enthusiasm rubs off on us. And then we also start getting trained in leading that kind of life. Now the other level is where the devotee has faith, but is not so trained. Does not know much about the scriptures, but knows that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. Then, depending on our level of advancement, we associate with compassion, become friends, build some nice relationships. Of course, when we associate with advanced devotees, then we serve them, because by service, we will get the mood of humility. Then there is another level, which is called Kanishta Adhikarya, where that person is sincere, but is not tolerant, doesn't have compassion. But then we need to show that compassion to such a devotee. Help them, cultivate them. But this all is possible, this relationship building is possible only when we catch our own selves. Can anyone tell me what is it that we do that keeps people away from us? Sleeping? Awake? What is it? It is we trying to mold others. Right? Have you tried that? Does it work? It doesn't. Why try? Right? We want to mold others as per our desires, as per our expectations. We want them to behave in the way we want them to behave. Is it possible? No. We all are individuals. We all have our own personalities. So when we are associating with devotees, we need to catch ourselves that we don't put our rules on them. Or we don't start finding faults, start criticizing. I was listening to this beautiful lecture and Maharaj was saying that finding faults is a disease. Anyone of us want to become diseased? Finding faults is a disease because when we find faults with other devotees, the building of relationship doesn't happen. Right? Finding faults is like pushing them down, making them look so small. Because when they look so small, we look big. That's psychology. I'm not a psychology teacher, but common sense. So when we find faults in devotees, it is actually an offense. It could be in our mind, it could be in our actions, it could be in our words, but it is an offense. So Maharaj was saying we should stay away from this disease of finding faults. Look for good qualities. Right? I'm just saying hypothetically. It's not true, Anirudh. I'm just saying hypothetically. Right? I may see a lot of faults and think, why look at that? Just magnify the good beauty. What beautiful kirtan. Such a beautiful voice with so much devotion. Will we build good relationship? Yes. You will anyway. Please not say yes. You see? So, finding faults is actually a disease. So we should not, because when we are pushing someone down, why should we make that effort? Because the whole world is trying to push us down. Instead, we should try to make them rise with our compassion, our patience, our tolerance. If we feel that the association that we have is not according to what I like, then we need to think about our own selves. What is wrong? What is going on in my consciousness? Because, say supposing I walk into this temple room and I'll just take an example of my sister. She says Hare Krishna to me and I don't respond. What will be your reaction? What's wrong with her? I, who made that effort to say Hare Krishna and there's no response, there could be something else is going on in my head. Maybe it's a difficult situation that I'm going through. So we should not try to judge by externals. Srila Prabhupada has, this Maharaj was saying that he heard this story, that they were going in a train, a mother and a son. Son was 20 years old and they were going in a train someplace and there were two couples sitting across. And so this 20-year-old boy, when the train started moving, he said, Mom, look, trees. Oh my God, the trees, they are going so fast. Oh, look, there are cows, there are animals. Oh, so beautiful, what a sight. The couple sitting on the other bench was like, what's wrong with this 20-year-old? Hasn't he ever seen, trees go by, everything moving so fast, and the animal? Why is he behaving like a 5-year-old? And so they were getting restless. These two couples, amongst themselves, they were talking, this is so ridiculous. The mother has not even taught this boy, no manners, nothing. He's just screaming at whatever he's seeing going past the train. So one lady from those couples, she took the courage and she asked the mother, is something wrong with your son? I mean, he's behaving like a 5-year-old. She said, well, the thing is, she even asked, hasn't he ever traveled in the train before? Oh yeah, we've traveled very often in the train. But the difference is, today he had an eye surgery and he's got the vision for the first time. So for the first time, he saw the trees go by. For the first time, he saw the animals, and that is why his reaction is like a 5-year-old. The couples didn't know the behind story, and they started what? Finding faults. Exactly. Huh? Judging and finding faults. What's wrong with this boy? He's 20 years old. He shouldn't be behaving like that. So when we are looking for devotee association, like Srila Prabhupada says, we should multiply the good qualities of those devotees, and we should magnify our own faults. Not take a magnifying glass and start looking, whose fault can I see today, and I can magnify it. Oh, this one? Vesura. Vesura means cannot sing. Oh, this one? Look at the nose, always up in the air. No? Oh. We need to magnify the good qualities of devotees. Then we will be able to really build good relationships with devotees. Now, who is a devotee? Right? Someone who wears a tilak? Someone who has a bead bag? Not necessarily. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, anyone who chants Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That person is a devotee. So we have to be very, very careful that we do not commit any offense against anyone who is chanting Hare Krishna, because that can bring our spiritual life down. It can kill the spiritual creeper that we are trying to grow. When we come to the temple, now I'm also guilty of this. When we come to the temple, to try and associate, talk to the devotees, find out, ask them questions like, how's the stock market? Which movie is released now? What's the new Apple iPhone? No. Oh, what a beautiful sari. Where did you buy it? Where was the sale? I need to go. No. We should inquire about their spiritual lives. How is your spiritual life? In Vedic times, this is how they used to treat each other. Haribol, how's your spiritual life? And now, hi, what's your Wi-Fi? I've come to your house. I need to on my phone. Right now? Maybe afterwards. Because then everyone else will start connecting to Wi-Fi and I'll be speaking to the walls. Right? So, how can we make our relationship with devotees strong? By serving them. Many people get scared with the word service or servant. Servant? I want to be the boss. Everyone has servants. Serve me. You bring water. You bring gulab jamun. Oh, I don't want to talk about prashadam now, because then the minds will go to prashadam. So, serve the devotees. When we serve the devotees, we start becoming humble. Srila Prabhupada in Bhagavad Gita, he gives a very nice explanation of humility. Does anyone remember? No. It's very simple. One is not anxious to have the satisfaction of being honored by others. So powerful. They're not anxious. Who's coming? Who's going to wish me Hare Krishna? Let me see who has the biggest smile, who loves me. Even though when we are trying to associate with devotees, we may find unfavorable situations. We may find that the other devotee is not interacting the way I want them to interact. It is unfavorable as per my calculation. We should still serve that devotee. It does not matter. It does not matter what the devotee behaves or talks or does or whatever it may be. Because devotee association is very, very rare. Just like Srila Prabhupada says, Human form is very rare. Out of how many million species? 8.4 billion species. Only 400,000 species of human beings. So we have this rare human form for self-realization, and devotee association helps us to make good use of this human form. Instead of focusing on what I want, we should focus on what the other devotees want. Very strong. Now we may say, how there is devotee association is so rare. We are working Monday through Friday, maybe 12 hours a day or whatever. We get to come to the temple only on Sunday. That too, we just come, attend the aarti, hear a little bit of boring lecture like mine, and then just go eat prasad and go home. Make that effort. Every day, if we hear one class of Srila Prabhupada, that's association. Just like it says, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. One Bhagavatam class a day keeps Maya away. If you want Maya to be far, far away. That's association hearing Srila Prabhupada. If we are really looking for association, we can pick up the phone and call a devotee and have a conversation on the phone. There are 6 activities that we can do as a devotee, as far as association is concerned. Give prasadam, accept prasadam. Okay? I use that first, but it is not first. Give gifts, receive gifts. Reveal our mind. Whatever is going on in our mind, whatever troubles we may have, whatever challenges we may have in our spiritual lives, we reveal our mind to advance devotees. This is how we can build relationships. But we have to make that effort. Without effort, nothing is possible. Say my son gives me a lot of money and say you can go start a business. I go start a business and then I sit at home chanting Hare Krishna, which is good actually. But will my business grow? I have to put in an effort. So if we want our spiritual lives to grow, then we need to put that extra effort so that we can progress spiritually. The biggest hurdle in devotee association is expectations. Yes. Oh, I thought she was asking a question. No problem, at least there's someone who's paying attention. Where was that?
Expectations.
How Maya strikes within a split second forgot what was the topic. What? Expectations. When we have expectations that I want to associate with this devotee, but I want this devotee to behave like I want this devotee to behave, what will happen? Frustration. What? Frustration. Because the expectation was not met. So expectation is the culprit. So we should keep the expectations aside and try to bring the relationship. Not take association for granted. Oh yeah, there's still a lot of time. Afterwards, I will, And then when the person, the devotee is gone, then we feel sad. I wish I had associated, yes or no? Then we start praising that devotee who's already gone. Why not praise that devotee when the devotee is still there? Does that make sense? Right? Because after the devotee is gone, the devotee is not heard what you said or how you felt. So when we see some good qualities in devotees, appreciate them, encourage them. And when the devotee tries to find our faults, appreciate that. Because if someone doesn't tell me what's wrong with me, how will I grow? How will I work on it? So this is another way that we can build very strong relationships. And in building that relationships, we have to be careful we do not commit any offenses, because offenses are very dangerous. What does Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say about Vaishnava Pride? Mad elephant. It's like a mad elephant that crushes the spiritual people. So keep the offenses, which means we have to be vigilant. The moment the thought comes in our mind, something negative about a devotee, immediately throw that thought out and start meditating on the good qualities of that devotee and make an effort to serve that devotee. That will bring about unity. Devotee association is our life and soul. If I start associating with someone who drinks a lot, I don't drink. But do you think I'll start drinking?
Yes.
Absolutely. Yes, because I'm associating. Every day I'm seeing one peg, second peg, third peg, fourth. One day if I take half peg, what's wrong? It won't make a difference. Is that association will result? So we must be very careful in choosing our association. But besides that, building that relationship with the devotee, very, very important. How many of us give benefit of doubt for some situations that happen which are unfavorable? Raise your hands. Thank you, sir. Thank you. We should all give benefit of doubt. We never know, just like I was talking about the 20-year-old in the train. No one knew he was blind. Right? But then, the people sitting opposite started judging and talking negatively. So give benefit of doubt for whatever their behavior may be. If we avoid devotee association, oh no, I don't want the headache, if I associate with this devotee or that devotee, then I don't like the way this devotee talks or the way this devotee behaves. Let me just keep away from that association. What do you think will happen?
We carry that burden for our heart.
Yes, but what will be the reaction? What will you say? Yes, like Bharat Maharaj, we'll have no devotee association. Yes. Yes, the devotee will fall down. Why? Because then the devotee is leading a life of loneliness, no devotee association at all. They become a loner. Is that the right word? Loner. Not the one who takes money loan, but a loner, someone who is alone. And when we don't have that association because now we are lonely, then we fall down because there is no devotee cop next to us to make us straight if we are making a mistake. In the Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna talks about association of devotees, he says that my devotees, when they come together, what do? They do Krishna Katha. They talk about Krishna. When we come here to the temple on Sundays, what do? We chant Hare Krishna, we hear Krishna Katha, and we eat Krishna Prasadam. All we need to add is no devotee association. And devotee association is very, very important. Krishna says, I am situated in everyone's heart. Right? Sarvasya Chaha Hridi Sanivishto. I am there in everyone's heart. So when we are associating with devotees, we are actually associating with Krishna also. Because Krishna is in the heart. So if somehow or the other, building a strong relationship with the devotee, if we can steal the heart of the devotee, what have we actually done? Stolen Krishna. We have stolen Krishna. So it's a long process to steal the heart of a devotee. Do you think devotees give their hearts out like that? Oh yeah, you take my heart, you take my heart. No. We have to work. Oh, so cute. She's also laughing. She understood. Yes. devotees don't give their heart so easily. Right? They have to steal it. How? With humility, with service. So Krishna says that my devotees, when they meet, they talk about Krishna Katha. That is called Sadhu Sangha. Right? Sadhu Sangha. When we do that Sadhu Sangha, that is when we start improving our spiritual lives. Unless, of course, we think we have reached that advanced stage of life where we have Krishna Prema and we don't need anything else, then that's a different situation. So we can see from these pastimes from Srimad Bhagavatam how associating with a pure devotee like Narad Muni, Dhruva Maharaj, the hunter, Vadrari the hunter, and Prahlad Maharaj, they became pure devotees of Krishna. So we should also seek devotee association. Seek, which means make that effort to find devotee association. We have so many devotees in this temple. Look for the association, have a conversation, discuss Krishna Katha, and then there will be a good relationship building. But then that relationship also needs to be fed, just like the creeper needs to be watered. Right? The Bhakti Lata beach, it grows when we chant Hare Krishna. That is the water for the soul. So similarly, what do you think is the water for this relationship, building of relationship, of association with devotees? What do you think? Serving is very important. Because serving, say supposing, I'm sorry I haven't done this, but say supposing I start serving my sister, I press her feet, I give her a nice head massage, I make nice prasadam for her. That service, will it melt your heart? Service. So when we serve, then we get the advantage, so valuable association of the devotee. So I'm going to end with the ABC of devotee association. Of course, the ABC for children is A for apple, B for boy, C for cat. But nowadays, children, A for Android, B for Bluetooth, C for chatting. My grandson, he can type without looking. With thumbs. And I'm still going to. So that is nowadays generation. A for Android, B for Bluetooth, C for chatting. But old people like me, A for? No. Apple, no. Old people for me like A for arthritis, B for blood pressure, C for cholesterol, D for diabetes, right? Oh, that also, but not old people like this. Okay, not disco. But in spirituality, it's A for association, B for books, Srila Prabhupada's books, and C is for chanting. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare